the Mobb Deep flag is waving high at this point. The Infamous album is making waves. Source gave it 5 mics, I think, and that was like a big
they gave it 4.5.
4.5, got very close, but that was still a big deal for the time.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, now those mics don't hold no weight in anybody's magazine.
But they went back years later and gave us an honorary 5 mic.
That's what's up. That was up. So the pressure to turn in the next album and make it top the last joint, because we go from that. Because at this time, I'm actually on the Loud Record street team. By the time you guys work on your second album, Murder Music, right? It was number 3.
No, Hell on Earth.
Hell on Earth. I'm sorry. I got on the Mob. I got on the street scene with the album after album number 4. So Hell on Earth. A lot going on during this time.
Yeah.
There was the beef between you guys and Tupac. Mm-hmm. How does this originate? What was the thing that pissed 2 off? And where did it? Because it seemed like he kind of started attacking you guys out of nowhere.
And to this day, I still don't know where the beef came from. Like, I wish he was here so I could ask him, you know what I mean? Or ask anybody that know him. I don't know where it came from, but I was definitely happy when the beef happened, you know what I mean? Because I was like, oh, shit, we got beef with Tupac? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, word. You know, we wasn't scared or nothing like that, you know what I mean? So we was like, all right, I really don't know where the beef started. Because, you know, I'm thinking about it like, did we say something in the song that maybe, you know, it could have came from like Survival of the Fittest, because when we was like Thug Life Still Living It or something like that.
Gotcha, yeah.
Maybe that, I don't know for sure, you know what I mean, but maybe it could have came from that, but all I know is that, yeah, we was happy about that.
And at no point ever have y'all ever like met face to face, had a conversation or anything?
Nah, he died before we could actually confront, you know, the situation, squash it or whatever it was. I was looking forward to meeting him, you know, but we was beefing. He did a record, we did a diss record, and he was like, after we put out our diss record, he was dead like 7 days later.
Yeah, the record you guys consider the beef record.
Drop a gem on him.
And let me tell you,
word.
To this day, if I'm in a gym and the playlist that I have drop a gem on them, you know, because it's always on shuffle. Right. I can't keep it in there straight. All of a sudden, I have 2 times the power of a normal person. Like, that record is just so fucking hard. But just even the way it comes, like, what the fuck were y'all doing in the studio that day? Like who's, like, so let's paint a picture. Who's in the studio when you're working on Drop a Gem on them? Right. And you know what? Actually, I'm bugging. I like Drop a Gem. I'm thinking Still Shining. But Drop a Gem on is dope too. Right. I was actually thinking about Still Shining. Yeah, Still Shining but not, so let's go on Drop a Gem on him. Right.
Drop a Gem on him. Tupac said something crazy. So we like, what? We like, you know what I mean? So we went in the studio, had the whole crew in there, Mad Henny, Mad Weed. I made the beat right there, and then boom, boom, boom. This is what we gonna do. And we gonna call this joint Drop a Gem on him. And that was gonna be like, that was our first single. You know what I'm saying? That was the first single, you know, for the new Hell on Earth album. But like I said, as soon as we dropped it, and it was catching traction, you know what I mean? As soon as we dropped it, homeboy got shot, and then he died like some days later. And they pulled the record. We told them to pull the record.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Now, if you could do it all again, would you have even recorded the record?
If I could do it over again?
If you could do it all again?
Hell yeah. I would, you know, if we could do it, yeah, because I wouldn't know that he was going to die. Right. You know, I'm not going to, it's one thing that I could just tell you like this, right here. Like when you into beef, you know what I'm saying, in hip-hop and all of that, just in life in general, you're not supposed to back down anyway, like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we just was gonna do it. So yeah, to answer your question, yep.
Okay. Now let's go to Still Shining. That
Still Shining.
And I never hear people mention that record a lot when they talk about their favorite Mobb Deep records. But the energy that is in that record and just the shit that y'all are kicking is mind blowing even in 2018, 2019, man. Like, what was whose idea was it to come up with that song?
I think it was one of those records that we dropped that was in between albums. Like, You know what I mean? I think we hadn't been out for a little while, and we just wanted to test the waters, throw something to let niggas know that we still had it or whatever. I think it was a mutual consensus between me and P. Like, yo, let's drop some shit. So I made this beat. It was crazy, and we was like, you know, saying fuck letting it wait for till the album come out. Let's just drop it now.
Yeah.
You know, we let the whole Loud staff hear it, and they was like going crazy because it just sounded like, you know, those drums, the sample. You know what I mean? It was dope.
And it was dope the way you and P had a art of getting the aggression across without yelling.
Right.
I never yelled on a record. You know, if you look at the landscape of a lot of guys, you know, cats had to yell at you to get your point. But whenever y'all would say some shit, we knew you mean it. 9-6 to the motherfucking year, 2G. Mobb got it locked with the mask. Like, you believe that shit because you said it with such a calm confidence, and even like, you know, rock you in your face, stab your brain with your nose bone. I mean, like, eye for an eye. Like, it was calmly like, you know, they always say like the people that are saying the least are the ones that you gotta watch out for.
Right. I mean, we was some laid back kind of lyricists, like, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't all about all that, you know, because that's how our personalities was, you know what I'm saying? We was just some laid back dudes, you know what I'm saying? You're not trying to make, you know what I'm saying, mad noise in the room. It's really the, you know, the quiet ones you gotta watch out for. You know? So that was my whole premise, and that was P too. P was calm, laid back. You never even know that he about to stab you or something, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, P was like that.
How many people ran up to you in the street and be like, hey, I tried Henny and it's all your fault? Because y'all were like the ambassadors. Like, did Henny ever cut y'all a check?
Nah, they never cut us a check.
They owe y'all money, seriously.
They definitely do, you know what I'm saying? We had the Hennessy shirts on in the videos and all that. But, nah, man, we wasn't even really thinking about endorsements back then. We just was expressing how we was rocking at the time, and that was definitely with some Henny. You know, now if you ask me that question, would I do it again? You know what I'm saying? If go back and would I rep Henny again? And I'd probably be like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Because I would have definitely, if I knew what I knew now, and, you know, as wise as I am now, I would step to them for a check. You know what I mean? But, and they would have said no, and then I would have fucked with somebody else.
Now,
I wouldn't even have said their name.
Between point A and point B, I think I read somewhere that you did have a problem with alcohol for a while.
Oh yeah, right? You know, I mean, you know, some people like to perpetuate something and make something more than what it really is. Really, you know, I come from a culture where we always drinking. You know what I'm saying, and we having a good time. You know what I'm saying. But me, I was the type of person where the party probably went on a little bit too long, you know what I'm saying? It still just, it go on, and then somebody be like, oh, yo, you know what I'm saying, have whatever, X, Y, and Z. But, you know, I got a handle on it and all of that. And fortunately, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, you know, it was kind of like, you know, one of those things where, you know, the party was going on a little too long, you know what I mean? But, you know, you got to get a handle on it.
So at what was the point where you realized that, okay, maybe this is a little excessive?
Oh, man, you know, when you find yourself in a crib, like, just drinking for no reason, you know what I'm saying? In your crib, just chilling, and you just, you know what I mean? And you just, like, it's not even a party, you know what I'm saying? That's when you figure, or if you driving, you know what I'm saying, and you drinking, you know, that's excessive, you know what I'm saying? And you could kill yourself, you could kill somebody, you know what I mean? And it's just not a good thing.
Now, you've been pretty consistent, you know, whether it's been with Mobb or, like, you know, your solo endeavors as well with the solo albums. I imagine there's a lot of time on the road. And having kids, you know, you had kids pretty young.
Yeah.
You know, did you feel like you missed anything? As far as, like, you know, in the development, or you wish you could have been there, or maybe brought them on the road with you?
I think even fathers that's not into music, when they have their first kid, they all make some kind of mistake, and then you have your second kid, and then you experience. But being a musician, you know, a rapper, and being on the road, you're definitely gonna, you know what I'm saying, even if it was my second child, you know, you probably, you had it, you know, you was hands-on with your first, but then you went on the road with your second, you wasn't too hands-on. So I think any child that I would have had that time, regardless of which number it would have been, it would have been a little less time spent with them, but at the same time, we out here, you know what I'm saying, solidifying their future, you know what I mean? So I don't have no regrets, you know what I mean? And I still was capable of raising my sons like the way I wanted to.
Good. You, for many years, was the go-to guy when you needed a solid banger that had a certain type of aggression to it. Another standout record was the joint you did for Biggie.
Yeah.
That was
Last Days.
Last Days. Man,
I had featuring the Lots.
What was the vibe in the studio like on that one?
Man, to be honest with you, Biggie was like a workhorse. So when I had made that track for Big, he was in the other room recording like something else. I don't even know what it was. So he wasn't even in the room, but Puff was in the room with me while I was recording it. And it was real calm. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even know the Locks was going to be on it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't find that out until, you know, the record got released. But it was a calm atmosphere. But the room that Biggie was in, you know, it was like, you know, the blunts was in the air, but they had me in a separate room letting me do my work.
Now, was there ever a conversation of that being like a Biggie and Mobb Deep record at any point?
Oh, nah. That definitely, I was just in there strictly Havoc, the producer. Diddy never alluded to anything like that. You know what I mean? It would have been dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know,
it just seemed like one of those things. It would have totally made sense around that time too.
Nah, I think Diddy more was on some like I got my own Mobb Deep. Like, you know what I mean? Like you know. So I don't even think because we wasn't his artist. So anybody that I think that Diddy was trying to collab with, Diddy was like artists of his. You know what I mean? So I don't even think he would have did an outside collab at that time.
Now, when you look at that year, that time frame, I mean, it's always a steel sharpened steel kind of environment in hip hop, and like the times you guys were moving around was, in my opinion, probably if not the most competitive.
Yeah.
You know, like I recently had a conversation with Special Ed. Like when Special Ed came out, 89, 88, like you got Rakim out there, you got Kane out there, you got L killing it.
Yeah.
94 through 99, man, you got the second coming of Tribe Called Quest. You got the Locks out there in the field. You got Big doing what he's doing, Pac doing what he's doing.
Nas,
the Rough Riders, the Rise of the South.
The Locks, all of them. The Rise of the South was coming.
So, like, I mean,
tough field.
Game faces on at all times, right?
Yeah, but you know what? I never looked at it like that. Like, you know what I mean? Because I wasn't too worried about what anybody else was doing. If I would have did that, or if we would have did that, me and P would have did that, we would have drove ourselves crazy and we would have fumbled. You know what I mean? Like, oh, what they doing? Like, nah, we was like, yo, what we doing? Like, you know, listen to they shit later. You know what I mean? We was just doing ours. Because when you start going like this and just going like this, your shit gonna come out fake.
Yeah. Well, I mean, was there ever somebody that they tried to create a fake riff with? Between like Mobb and like, oh, you know, Mobb got beef with this particular group. I mean, other than the Pac stuff, obviously.
Nah. Nobody never tried to create no riff between Mobb Deep and any other group. You know, we was just, I think the respect level was just so high amongst New York artists, you know what I mean, that none of us was really going at each other like that. Not that I knew of. You know what I mean? I always kept it cool.
Got you. I mean, and your catalog is so deep. I mean, we can have a 10, 15-minute conversation about each project. I mean, Mobb Music comes out, you know, Quiet Storm, that brings Lil' Kim back to life, you know, for her second lap. You know, another amazing notch under your belt, It's Mine. Fast forward to after that, there was the album with the single with 112 on it. That was
that was Murder Music.
Murder Music,
I believe.
Murder Music? What? So there was Mobb Music and Murder Music?
Yeah, when you say Mobb Music, you probably mean to say Murder Music.
Mobb Music was the clean version.
Okay, probably.
I was on the street scene.
Right,
So like, because like we was putting up the POP in the stores. I was like, why does it say this?
I never even heard of Mobb Music, but you learn something new every day.
Yeah, it was like it was the same bloody font, but it said Mobb Music for like the Best Buys and the Target. Yeah,
clean version.
It had so many
lives. I
lives.
never even knew that.
So the album after that was the single with 112 on that album. No, it
was on Murder Music.
Okay.
Because I remember we did on the Murder Music we did Quiet Storm, the one where it was just P, and then we did the remix with Lil' Kim, And then after that, we probably did. Wait, you know what? I think the Hey Love joint was on Infamy.
There you go. It was.
Right.
It was.
There
It
you go.
was.
There you go. It was on Infamy.
Yeah, so Infamy. And so that marks the end of y'all run with Loud Records.
Yeah.
And then after Infamy, over to G Unit for the project.
No, we went after Infamy, we went to Jive Records.
Jive.
But we did Land Speed because we did the Free Agents.
That damn Free Agents. Yo, Win or Lose and a gang of other records on there was solid.
Yeah, we did Free Agents and Win or Lose was on Infamy. And then we did Free Agents, so we did like 20 records on that. And then we went to Jive. And then we did America's Nightmare. And after America's Nightmare, we went to G Unit.
G Unit. Now, how was that G Unit experience for you guys overall?
I mean, for me, it was dope. You know what I mean? I appreciated it because, you know, we got a chance to be around dudes that was from around our way, you know what I'm saying, from Queens. You know what I mean? We got thrusted into a big world tour, you know what I mean? And even though we was who we was already, you know what I'm saying, no label could make us who we are. We got, you know, 50, he really was going all out against a lot of pushback for us, you know what I mean? Like, you know, trying to get us on MTV and this, that, and the third. And, you know, Interscope was giving him a hard time, you know what I mean? A lot of the fans wasn't feeling it because they was like, you know, oh, yeah, Mobb Deep, and how could you do this? How could you sign to somebody that was out, that wasn't out before y'all, and this, that, and the third? So I wasn't listening to all of that, you know what I mean? I was just like, yo, we got an opportunity to be on a bigger label, X, Y, and Z, and you know, I was feeling it, you know what I'm saying? You know, but you know, the fans had their different opinions.
Yo, there was some interesting records on there. I remember there was one record on there where Prodigy had a crazy verse about
you talking about Pearly Gates.
Like, so are you in the studio when he's recording it?
Yeah.
And like, what's the expression on your face when you're like,
look, first of all, number one, I learned a long time ago before that to not ever question P lyrics. You know what I'm saying? No matter how jaw dropping, how foul it might have sound, that's him. You know what I'm saying? That's just him. So,
did y'all used to get into arguments over it?
Nope. I never fucked with him and his lyrics. I let him be who he wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when P thrives. You know what I'm saying? And plus, P not gonna listen to you anyway.
He's
not gonna listen.
Because he's always the dude who I never had a chance to have a conversation with. I mean, because even yourself too, I would always see you guys in passing. I actually talked to you briefly when you was on the 50 Cent tour when y'all made a stop in Dallas.
Yeah.
And you guys was like so cool and regular. Y'all was just out with the people, just talking and chilling.
Yeah.
And that was always dope. But I never got a chance to really pick P's brain. I think I seen him one time outside of like one of them Gavin conventions or something like that. But you know, but y'all were always like men of the people. You know, like wasn't on that Hollywood shit.
Nah.
Mad approachable.
Yeah. You know what I mean? That's how we kept it all day. Like, you know what I mean? I'm still like that to this day. You know what I mean? Humble, you know what I mean, to a certain extent. And yeah, we people. You know what I mean?
Nah, that's always dope. So when the 50 Cent G Unit era comes to an end, like was it a mutual decision or y'all just decided, you know?
It was a mutual decision. Like I said, Interscope was giving them a hard time for whatever reason it was. A lot of pushback. It was a mutual decision. Like, you know what I'm saying? We did what we needed to do. We did it, and we just moved on. But we all remained really good friends, tight. You know, I produced for 50 after that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Long after that. So it wasn't no bad blood. And, you know, it was what it was. It was. I'm still cool with 50 to this day.
Dope.